In the rugged landscape of northeastern South Africa, near the town of Mpuluzi, lies one of the most puzzling and intriguing geological anomalies ever discovered. A giant footprint measuring approximately 1.2 meters or 4 feet long, embedded in solid granite. This footprint has sparked significant debate and curiosity among scientists, historians, and enthusiasts alike. The giant footprint is located in a remote area of northeastern South Africa, a region known for its rich geological formations and ancient history. The footprint is impressively detailed, with clear impressions of toes and an arch, as if left by a colossal human-like being. The precision and clarity of the print, preserved in granite, a rock formed from the slow crystallization of magma beneath the Earth's surface, adds to the mystery. Granite is an igneous rock, known for its hardness and durability. The formation of a footprint in such a material is perplexing, as granite typically forms deep within the Earth's crust under high pressure and temperature conditions. The apparent age of the granite, estimated to be between 200 million and 3 billion years old, further complicates the understanding of how such a footprint could exist. One of the more conventional theories suggests that the footprint could have been made by an ancient human ancestor. However, the size of the footprint poses a significant challenge to this theory. At 1.2 meters long, the footprint suggests a being of enormous size, far beyond the proportions of known hominids. This discrepancy has led some to propose that it could be evidence of a yet-to-be-discovered species or a mythological giant. The mysterious geometric shapes surrounding the Richat structure. The Richat structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, is a remarkable and mysterious geological formation located in the Sahara Desert of Mauritania. Spanning approximately 45 kilometers or 28 miles in diameter, this circular structure has captivated scientists and enthusiasts alike. Recently, the advent of satellite technology and tools like Google Earth have allowed for a more detailed examination of this area, leading to the discovery of strange geometric shapes surrounding the Richat structure. The Richat structure was initially thought to be an impact crater due to its circular shape. However, subsequent studies have revealed that it is actually a highly eroded geologic dome. The structure is composed of concentric circles of sedimentary rock, uplifted by geological processes. The Eye of the Sahara has also been associated with various historical narratives. Some have speculated that it could be the location of the lost city of Atlantis, as described by Plato. While this theory remains controversial and widely debated, it adds an intriguing layer to the mystery of the Richat structure. The advent of Google Earth has revolutionized the way we explore our planet. This tool allows anyone with an internet connection to view high-resolution satellite images of virtually any location on Earth. Researchers and amateurs alike have used Google Earth to uncover previously unnoticed details in remote regions, including the area around the Richat structure. Users of Google Earth have identified several geometric shapes in the vicinity of the Richat structure. These shapes include perfect circles, straight lines, and rectangular formations that appear to be unnatural. The precision and alignment of these shapes suggest that they could be the remnants of human-made structures or other purposeful arrangements, rather than random geological formations. One of the most compelling theories is that these geometric shapes are remnants of ancient human settlements or constructions. The Sahara Desert was not always as arid as it is today. Thousands of years ago, it was a lush and fertile region, capable of supporting large populations. The geometric shapes could be the foundations of ancient buildings, roads, or other infrastructure built by civilizations long lost to history. Another theory posits that the geometric shapes may have been used for astronomical purposes. Ancient civilizations often built structures aligned with celestial bodies for calendrical or ritualistic reasons. The precise alignment of some of these shapes with cardinal directions and celestial events supports this hypothesis. They could have served as observatories, calendars, or places of worship aligned with the stars and planets. If the geometric shapes are indeed remnants of ancient human activity, they could significantly alter our understanding of prehistoric civilizations in the Sahara region. This discovery would suggest that advanced societies existed in the area, capable of building complex structures and possibly engaging in sophisticated astronomical practices. It would prompt a re-evaluation of the timeline and extent of human development in Africa. The study of the Richat structure and its surrounding anomalies also offers opportunities for advances in geological research. Understanding the formation and erosion processes that created the Eye of the Sahara and the geometric shapes could provide insights into similar geological formations around the world. It would help scientists better understand the dynamic processes that shape our planet's surface. The mysterious aerial school encounter. On the morning of September 16, 1994, the children and teachers at Aerial School in Zimbabwe started their day as usual. Nevertheless, an occurrence during the morning break would finally seize the interest of the whole population. A total of 62 students would report to their teachers that spaceships had landed near the school. In addition, a group of individuals of short stature exited from the spacecraft, clearly visible to the witnesses, who, interestingly, all provided identical descriptions of the event. On the 16th of September, the instructors at Aerial School in Rua, Zimbabwe, had a planned meeting while the students were having their morning playtime. Despite the presence of a single adult overseeing the children at the tuck shop, they were essentially left unsupervised. While they were enthusiastically shouting to one another in the schoolyard, a number of them observed a massive silver disc in the sky above. In addition, there were numerous smaller aircrafts maneuvering around the main object. Instantly, a momentary silence enveloped the schoolyard as every child directed their focus towards the shining objects in the sky. As the mysterious object flew directly above, it appeared to be preparing to touch down in close proximity to a tiny hill located on the other side of the fence surrounding the schoolyard. The children sprinted towards the barrier in order to obtain a more advantageous view. Despite being part of the school, the site was inaccessible to the children due to ongoing clearing operations. While observing, a diminutive being, approximately 3 feet in height, abruptly emerged from the spherical entity. The children later characterized the creature as being abnormally thin and with exceedingly huge eyes. He descended from the aircraft and proceeded to stroll towards the fence where they were observing. It's been suggested that they emitted a synchronized exhalation of surprise, as upon taking just a few steps, he became aware of the presence of the youngsters and halted his movement. Meanwhile, a different individual observed from atop the vehicle. After a brief period of intense eye contact, the first being turned around and returned to the spacecraft. Shortly thereafter, the spacecraft disappeared, along with the smaller crafts in the sky. Several children would enter the school premises in a state of distress, shedding tears and saying that something terrifying was happening outside. The region was filled with tales of demons and malevolent beings, and a few of the smaller children firmly believed that this was indeed what they had witnessed. The older children, despite their continued unease, were undergoing a phenomenon that was subsequently characterized as telepathic communication with the being that stood in the field before them. A significant number of individuals already possessed prior knowledge of what they had witnessed. Amidst the chaos, the school's teachers were hauled out of their meeting. One of them would later express that they simply heard them emitting loud and continuous screams. Another individual expressed initial skepticism and acknowledged that although they believed the youngsters had seen something, they were inclined to seek a more logical and sensible explanation. The school's headmaster acknowledged the children's encounter, but originally deemed it prudent to leave the problem unresolved. Subsequent to the weekend, the school started receiving a series of phone calls from anxious parents. Each individual would pose the identical inquiry, asking what had occurred to cause such intense fear in their children. Cynthia Hind, in conjunction with Dr. John Mack, would engage in individual conversations with the youngsters. Each would possess identical information, and Mack firmly believed in the children's genuineness and the legitimacy of the situation. He would assert that the witnesses recounted these events with the authenticity and vividness of personal experience. Several children who reported receiving telepathic connection from the ominous figure before them would have intriguing revelations. One witness would explain the event as suddenly feeling as if a vivid mental image was rapidly passing through their mind, a psychic message, a form of communication transmitted through the mind. Another individual informed Hind and Mack that the mysterious beings had come to inform them that they are not adequately caring for the planet. Another witness had a perspective that was even more ominous. They asserted that they had vivid mental images depicting the apocalypse, characterized by the complete destruction of all trees and the inability of individuals to breathe. These specific pieces of information are consistently found in a large number of UFO sightings and have persisted for several decades. It is crucial to bear in mind that most, if not all, of these children would have had minimal to no exposure to UFO experiences in significant depth. It's important to note that television was still a limited platform, far from the extensive reach it has achieved today. Essentially, it is improbable that every single one of the 62 children, ranging in age from 6 to 12 years old, would have collaborated and sustained such a deceit. Others expressed similar empathy towards the circumstances recounted by the children. Undoubtedly, other individuals who have scrutinized the case subsequently arrived at the same conclusions, that the youngsters, regardless of what they witnessed, were unequivocally speaking the truth. Tim Leach, the BBC bureau chief for Zimbabwe, would personally meet and interview the majority of the children who had observed the peculiar incidents that occurred that morning, and he would do so immediately following the sighting. He would assert that the occurrence and the testimonies of the youngsters who observed it provided him with a fresh outlook on life, the cosmos, and everything. It appeared that there were explanations provided for why the pyrotechnic performance was actually a meteor shower. Nevertheless, numerous witnesses reported sightings of these fireball-like vehicles around the region on that particular day. Additionally intriguing is an occurrence that transpired a mere 2 days prior, a mere 25 miles in proximity, at the Pier House School. That morning, approximately 100 schoolchildren observed an unusual flying vehicle descending at an unusually low altitude, seeming as if it were preparing to touch down. In addition, the radio system utilized by the school bus service experienced a complete outage during the sighting. Furthermore, at least one of the youngsters who observed the incident at Ariel School had previously spotted an unusual phenomenon in the sky and playfully referred to it as a UFO before concluding that it was likely an aeroplane. Nevertheless, she internally acknowledged the peculiarity of the thing, likening it to a cigarette. It was only after the events at the school unfolded that she started to really consider the possibility that the object she had witnessed that morning was the same one that had recently landed near the school. Additionally, it is worth noting that the accounts of the creature that had moved away from the spacecraft include specific characteristics of a dark and shadowy figure. In the realm of the unexplained, two phenomena have captured the public's imagination and sparked intense debate: unidentified flying objects and shadow people. While both have been reported independently, a growing number of accounts suggest a curious connection between them. Witnesses who encounter UFOs often report seeing shadowy humanoid figures, commonly referred to as shadow people, during or immediately following these sightings. Witnesses of shadow people during UFO encounters consistently describe the figures as dark, human-like silhouettes without any distinguishing features. These shadow beings are typically seen in peripheral vision and often vanish when directly observed. They are reported to move quickly and silently, sometimes appearing to glide rather than walk. Encounters with shadow people are often accompanied by intense emotional and physical reactions. Witnesses report feelings of dread, fear, and unease, as well as physical sensations such as chills, a feeling of heaviness, and an unexplained drop in temperature. These reactions suggest that the presence of shadow people exerts a significant psychological and physiological impact on witnesses. Emily Trim, a witness, would later describe the sound as a high-pitched frequency followed by a flash before the craft became visible. She would also clarify that she was uncertain about the duration of the episode. The descriptions of the colors that rapidly arose, including blues, reds, and greens, are commonly reported in numerous other UFO sightings, along with the observation that they seem to encircle the perimeter of the spacecraft at a high velocity. Particularly intriguing are the assertions made by one of the witnesses, who reported that a group of individuals gathered to inspect the area where the unidentified flying object touched down. Despite the prohibition, she reported that people who entered the site discovered charred grass where the enigmatic object had been. Both the teachers and many of the children's parents first had difficulty fully trusting the reports the children shared that morning. During a documentary, some 18 months after the occurrence, when questioned about their feelings towards others who doubted their account, the children expressed sadness and frustration, with one youngster even suggesting that such skepticism would cast doubt on the truthfulness of their claims. Truly, had this event been observed by only one youngster, or even two or three, such rejections might have resulted in the incidents being disregarded before it could spread to the neighboring town, let alone the rest of the world. The presence of numerous witnesses to the incident provided a source of mutual support and validation regarding their observations. In addition to the previous statement of a sighting at a school 25 miles away, Cynthia Hind also gathered other reports of UFO activity and sightings of peculiar creatures in the aerial area prior to the incident. During the period preceding the aerial school event, a mother and her small son asserted that they observed an unidentified flying object during daytime hours. Arguably, the most disconcerting of these observations, however, originated from a truck driver who asserted to have witnessed peculiar entities by the side of the road one evening during his journey. The enduring impression of the aerial school UFO incident is that, although the true nature of the peculiar craft and its much more peculiar occupants remains uncertain, it is quite likely that the students did indeed witness an unidentified phenomenon on that September morning in 1994. Every kid, who will now be in their 30s, asserts that what they witnessed that morning was undeniably genuine. Several individuals who observed the peculiar, darkly dressed individuals from a close distance assert that they will never forget the intense gaze directed towards them. Undoubtedly, one can only speculate on the frequency with which these witnesses have been roused from their slumber by recollections of the peculiar creature they encountered, not only during their formative years, but also in their adult lives. In addition, not only individuals involved in UFO research, but also experts in child behavior argue that it would be highly implausible for numerous youngsters of such a tender age to unanimously agree on and consistently maintain the same narrative, especially for an extended period of time. There is little question that the children were totally honest in recounting the events of that morning, and they continue to be that way even now as adults. Regardless of whether the meeting was intentional or not, it is important to reiterate that the witnesses received identical telepathic signals that morning, which have also been reported in several incidents of close contact. Themes that center on the improper utilization of technology and the harm being inflicted onto the world, and ones that require attention. The most compelling explanation for the aerial school encounter is the extraterrestrial hypothesis. The detailed descriptions of the craft and beings, along with the telepathic communication reported by the children, align with other accounts of UFO encounters. The messages about environmentalism and the dangers of technology also mirror themes reported in other close encounter cases. The involvement of credible researchers like Cynthia Hind and Dr. John Mack further supports the possibility that the aerial school encounter was a genuine mysterious event. The aerial school encounter underscores the importance of open-minded inquiry in the study of UFO phenomena. The willingness of researchers like Cynthia Hind and Dr. John Mack to listen to and validate the children's experiences helped bring the incident to light and ensured that it was taken seriously. This open-minded approach is crucial for advancing our understanding of unexplained phenomena and encouraging a rigorous investigation of such events. The messages reportedly conveyed to the children during the encounter are profoundly relevant to contemporary challenges. Whether or not the encounter was of advanced origin, these messages resonate with humanity's ongoing efforts to address environmental degradation and the ethical implications of technological advancement. As of right now, the aerial school UFO encounter remains one of the most compelling and mysterious incidents in the history of UFO sightings. The consistency and sincerity of the children's accounts, coupled with the involvement of credible researchers, suggest that this was a genuine encounter with an unexplained phenomenon. The incident challenges our understanding of reality and underscores the importance of keeping an open mind in the face of the unknown. Mlan Tuukka, also known as Killer of Elephants or the Behemoth, is a legendary creature that is said to inhabit the dense rainforests of Central Africa, primarily in the Republic of Congo. The creature is described as a large, semi-aquatic reptile with a heavy, armored body, a long neck, and a single horn on its forehead. The Mlan Tuukka is said to be extremely aggressive and territorial, and is known to take out any creature that enters its territory, including elephants. According to local legends, the Mlan Tuukka is often sighted near rivers or water sources, suggesting that it may be a semi-aquatic creature. Some reports also suggest that the creature may have a distinctive roar or bellow that can be heard from a distance. Those who have seen it have described it as looking similar to a triceratops. Interestingly, when shown photographs, the local tribes of the Congo said it looked very similar to the triceratops. Gathering evidence of this creature has been tough. The tribes native to the Congo region have claimed that they are tough and that they fear nothing. One of the last reported sightings of the creature was seen in Kenya, though many experts believe that if the creature did at one time exist, then it has long been extinct. In 1954, Lucien Blancou, a French colonial wildlife inspector and frequent correspondent of Bernard Heuvelmans, presented the first information that may have been known about the creature in a Mammalia article on forest rhinoceroses in the then French colony of the Republic of the Congo. The inhabitants of the northern region of the Kela area, particularly the Pygmies, are familiar with a woodland creature that is bigger than a buffalo and nearly the size of an elephant, but it is not a hippopotamus. The creature's footprints are rarely observed, yet it instills more fear than any other perilous beast. The sketch provided to Monsieur Millet depicts the footprint of a rhinoceros. Christian Lanoël, a French hunter who later became a researcher into the unknown who studied mysterious creatures, gained recognition for his research on tigres de montagne and water lions in Chad and the Central African Republic. During his visit to Lake Tele in 1974, he also documented claims of a creature referred to as the lake rhinoceros in the Republic of the Congo. In 1980, Roy P. McCall and James Powell visited Imfondo and Epina on a preliminary expedition to gather information about the Mokele Mbembe. During their trip, they encountered reports of another mysterious creature in the area, described as an aquatic mammal with horns. The initial reports revolved around a peculiar creature resembling a rhinoceros that was responsible for the demise of elephants. However, Joachim Mameka, a teenage local informant, provided a somewhat more elaborate account. Tales about the Mlan Tuukka were shared by McCall and Herman Registers, who conducted parallel journeys to the Republic of the Congo in 1981 to investigate the Mokele Mbembe. The study, authored by Registers, was initially released in 1982. He argued that the term Mlan Tuukka meant eater of the tops of the palms. However, he also received a report of a creature resembling a rhinoceros that takes down elephants, known as the horned Mlan Tuukka. In 1981, this animal was accused of causing 3 elephants to lose their lives. Their group experienced another peculiar encounter during our time in Boa. The catastrophe occurred around 3 kilometers northeast of the settlement in February 1981. 3 adult elephants were found deceased and afloat in the lake. The cause of the expiration for all individuals was 2 punctures inflicted at the abdominal center. The bulls still possessed their ivory, removing the possibility of poachers or local hunters searching for food. The villagers characterized the animal responsible for these passings as a peculiar rhinoceros-like beast that lives in the adjacent jungles. They were escorted to the location and they recorded the surroundings on camera. Upon their arrival in Boa, they were informed of this tragedy, which had evidently not been known to the inhabitants of Epina or mentioned to any earlier expedition that had been through the area. McCall's excursions gathered accounts of the creature from a diverse group of persons with various geographic origins, enabling him to provide a detailed description of the creature in his book. Mlan Tuukka is the term used by the Bomitaba people to refer to this species. McCall's research also revealed that the term Mokele Mbembe was occasionally used to refer to several unidentified creatures, with the Mlan Tuukka being the most frequently associated one. According to Bill Gibbons, the AKA people are the sole group in the area known to engage in this naming convention. McCall hypothesized that the Mlan Tuukka and the Mokele Mbembe, due to their etymological confusion, had acquired characteristics from one another. This might potentially account for the Mlan Tuukka's substantial tail and the Mokele Mbembe's horn. While on expeditions in Cameroon, Jean-Claude Kerhoas and Michel Ballot have uncovered and captured images of carvings that portray the Mlan Tuukka, showcasing distinct elephantine ears. 2 representations of the creature were discovered in 2012 and 2013. These images were created by Jean-Claude Thibault in the 1980s or 1990s in the Central African Republic. They similarly feature the animal with frilly ears. A graphic portrays the creature tearing apart the abdomen of an elephant. The illustrations were created as part of a collection portraying the folklore of Dzanga-Sanga National Park, located in the southwestern section of the Central African Republic, adjacent to Cameroon and the Republic of the Congo. This area is home to the AKA people. Bill Gibbons doubts the reliability of either of these portrayals as accurate descriptions of the creature, adding that the locals have been encountering it for hundreds of years. The Mlan Tuukka, as described to Makal, bears resemblance to the Mokele Mbembe in terms of its body structure. It has a torso that is either the size of an elephant or even greater, with sturdy, straight legs and a robust tail resembling that of a crocodile. Makal believed that the creature's tail was intended to be shorter, and the skin of the animal is characterized as resembling that of an elephant, without hair and scales, and typically having a brownish or grey hue. Nevertheless, the head and neck exhibit a reduced length and increased size compared to the Mokele Mbembe. The Mlan Tuukka is characterized by its prominent solitary horn that is prominently bent and positioned on its head. According to local sources, this horn bears a striking resemblance to the ivory tusk of an elephant. The creature is often shown in local art with a set of ornamental ears that resemble those of an elephant, albeit in a lower size. Makal was informed that the footprints of the creature resemble those of an elephant, featuring 3 distinct toe impressions or claw marks. There are no reports of any decorative features or raised lines on the neck. The creature is reported to be an aquatic creature, occasionally venturing onto land to forage for food. According to reports, it is classified as a herbivore. However, Makal observed that the Mlan Tuukka showed a preference for consuming the lianas and their leaves rather than the malombo fruits. The creature is notorious for its highly violent and irritable nature. It dispatches elephants, buffaloes, and hippopotamuses that mistakenly enter its domain by forcefully shredding, stabbing, and puncturing them with its horn. Recent discoveries of unusual footprints in the region have reignited interest in this creature, suggesting that the Mlan Tuukka might be more than just a myth. In 1966, Atelier Yvon Riedel, a French wildlife photographer, discovered a sequence of tracks with 3 toes each on a steep and muddy riverbank located in the northeastern region of Lubomo in the Republic of the Congo. Subsequently, he characterized them as having a width of approximately 10 inches. At first, the person mistook the footprints for those of a hippopotamus. However, they took a photograph of the clearest imprint and didn't think much about it afterwards. It was only until they researched the creature that they realized the 3 toes on the track resembled those of certain neodinosaurs. Upon closer examination, the footprints revealed several intriguing features. They were tridactyl, with 3 large clawed toes, and showed signs of significant weight distribution, suggesting a hefty creature. The depth and spacing of the prints indicated that the animal possessed considerable size and mass, consistent with descriptions of the Mlan Tuukka. The stride length between the footprints also pointed to a creature capable of both terrestrial and aquatic movement. The discovery of the footprints aligned closely with the accounts of the local Baka and AKA tribes. According to their descriptions, the creature resembles a rhinoceros, but with a longer neck and a more pronounced, singular horn or tusk. Historical accounts from early explorers and missionaries in the Congo also reference sightings and encounters with large, unknown beasts resembling the Mlan Tuukka. Notably, reports from the early 20th century describe a creature that fits the profile of the Mlan Tuukka, lending further credence to its possible existence. These accounts, coupled with the recent footprint discovery, suggest a continuity of sightings over a substantial period. One of the most compelling theories proposed by researchers is that the creature could be a living fossil, a remnant of prehistoric fauna that has somehow survived in the isolated and largely unexplored regions of the Congo Basin. Some speculate that it could be a surviving member of the ceratopsian family, which includes triceratops and other horned dinosaurs. The discovery of the footprints provides a tangible piece of evidence that could support this hypothesis, suggesting the presence of a large, previously unidentified species. The potential existence of the Mlan Tuukka highlights the incredible biodiversity of the Congo Basin, one of the most ecologically rich and yet underexplored regions on Earth. Discoveries like these underscore the importance of preserving these habitats, which could harbor other unknown or endangered species. Conservation efforts are crucial to protecting the delicate ecosystems that support such diverse and unique wildlife. The footprints of the Mlan Tuukka serve as a compelling impetus for further exploration and research. Future expeditions, equipped with advanced technology such as drones, remote cameras, and environmental DNA analysis, could yield more definitive evidence of the creature's existence. Collaborative efforts between scientists, local communities, and researchers are essential to unraveling the mystery of the creature. As of right now, the discovery of the Mlan Tuukka footprints in the Congo presents a fascinating and genuine puzzle that challenges our understanding of the natural world. Whether the creature is a surviving relic of prehistoric times, a new species yet to be classified, or a misunderstood known animal, the evidence suggests that there is still much to learn about the hidden corners of our planet. The Mamba Mutu. In the depths of Lake Tanganyika, the world's second oldest and second deepest freshwater lake, nestled between the borders of Tanzania, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Burundi, and Zambia, lies a mystery that has captivated the imaginations of local populations and intrigued researchers worldwide: the Mamba Mutu. Described as a mermaid-like creature, the Mamba Mutu is said to inhabit the lake's vast, uncharted waters. Despite skepticism from the scientific community, the consistency and credibility of eyewitness accounts suggest that the Mamba Mutu may be real and genuine. The name Mamba Mutu translates to water person in the local languages, reflecting the creature's human-like appearance. According to local legends and testimonies, the Mamba Mutu is described as having the upper body of a human, complete with arms and a head, but with the lower body of a fish, featuring scales and a powerful tail. Witnesses report that the creature's skin is often a shimmering, iridescent hue, and it possesses long, flowing hair that cascades down its back. The Mamba Mutu is said to be an elusive and intelligent being, capable of communicating with humans and possessing a deep understanding of the lake's ecosystem. One of the most compelling aspects of the Mamba Mutu legend is the consistency of eyewitness reports. Fishermen, villagers, and travelers have recounted numerous encounters with the creature over the years, describing similar features and behaviors. These accounts come from individuals who are intimately familiar with the region's wildlife, lending credibility to their testimonies. The Mamba Mutu is often reported to exhibit cautious and elusive behavior, surfacing only occasionally and avoiding prolonged human contact, which may explain the lack of physical evidence. A notable encounter occurred in the early 20th century when Belgian colonial officer Captain William Hickens reported seeing a mermaid-like creature while on a boat in Lake Tanganyika. Hickens described the creature as having a human-like face and upper body with a fish-like tail. His account was later published, sparking widespread interest and debate about the existence of the Mamba Mutu. Hickens' detailed and credible description added significant weight to the legend, as it came from a respected and experienced observer. Further supporting evidence comes from local art and cultural traditions. Indigenous communities around Lake Tanganyika have long depicted mermaid-like creatures in their carvings, paintings, and folklore. These representations, which bear striking similarities to the descriptions of the Mamba Mutu, suggest that the creature has been a part of the local cultural consciousness for generations. Such continuity in cultural depictions indicates that the Mamba Mutu is more than a mere myth. It is a deeply ingrained part of the region's heritage and natural history. The vast, remote, and largely unexplored habitat of Lake Tanganyika provides a plausible environment for a large, elusive aquatic creature to exist undetected by modern science. The lake's immense depth and complex underwater topography offer ample hiding places for a creature like the Mamba Mutu. The difficulty of conducting thorough scientific investigations in such challenging environments means that many species, particularly large and elusive ones, could remain undocumented. Moreover, the discovery of previously unknown aquatic species in similar remote regions lends credence to the possibility of the creature's existence. In recent years, several new species of fish and invertebrates have been discovered in Lake Tanganyika, underscoring the region's potential to harbor undiscovered creatures, and these findings suggest that the natural world still holds many secrets, and the Mamba Mutu could be one of them. The implications of discovering the Mamba Mutu would be profound, both scientifically and culturally. From a scientific perspective, the existence of such a mermaid-like creature would revolutionize our understanding of aquatic biodiversity and evolutionary biology. It would prompt new research into the evolutionary history and ecological role of mermaid-like beings, potentially leading to discoveries about their behavior, diet, and interactions with other species. Culturally, validating the existence of the mamba mutu would honor the knowledge and experiences of the indigenous people who have long reported its presence. It would highlight the importance of integrating traditional ecological knowledge with scientific research, fostering a more inclusive and respectful approach to studying and conserving biodiversity. Local communities, with their deep connection to the land and its creatures, are invaluable partners in the search for and protection of such elusive species. In recent years, advancements in technology have provided new tools for investigating the mamba mutu phenomenon. High-resolution sonar, underwater cameras, and remotely operated vehicles offer the potential to explore and document the depths of Lake Tanganyika with unprecedented precision. Collaborative efforts between scientists, local communities, and conservation organizations could help to systematically search for evidence of the mamba mutu, providing a clearer understanding of its nature and habits. The mystery of the Kalanoro. Kalanoro is a humanoid creature said to inhabit the remote regions of Madagascar. Kalanoro, although said to inhabit several parts of Madagascar, are extremely elusive, and encounters with them are quite infrequent. Other groups residing in various regions of the island acknowledge the existence of the Kalanoro, while referring to them with distinct designations such as Kotoki or Vazimba. The Antakarana and Simiheti peoples assert that the Kalanoro predominantly inhabit caves within their territory. According to the inhabitants of Madagascar, the Kalanoro have resided on the island for a period exceeding 2 millennia. The initial interactions took place when individuals migrated to the island. It is commonly characterized as a humanoid creature, with fingers that have hooks and 3 toes that face backwards. In addition, they possess elongated fingernails, spines, and lengthy hair. According to reports, the Kalanoro is said to have a maximum height of 2 feet. The mysterious Kalanoro is reputed to subsist on a diet primarily composed of uncooked seafood, veggies, and grains. The creature is notorious for taking children, smaller animals, and scouring the villages of Madagascar in search of sustenance. The majority of the Kalanoro are reputed to possess formidable magical abilities. The creature has an extraordinary level of strength due to their lengthy hair. According to some herbalists in Madagascar, it is believed that potions containing magical powders infused with crushed Kalanoro hair can grant the person extraordinary supernatural abilities. These capabilities are said to be transferable. Many individuals engage in the practice of working with the spirits of the Kalanoro, whom they assert possess remarkable healing abilities. The Kalanoro are believed to be ethereal beings associated with the natural world. Individuals who actively search for the Kalanoro mediums do so because they believe they have been afflicted by an unintentional transgression into a territory that holds religious significance for the Kalanoro. As reported by Travel Africa magazine, Eloy encountered his initial sighting of a Kalanoro creature in a rice paddy near his town. He vividly described the creature as a diminutive being, measuring less than 1 meter in height, with a profusion of hair covering its body and elongated fingernails. These creatures can seemingly be enticed by the alluring aroma of frying pistachio nuts, but efforts to capture them are mostly futile due to their feet being orientated in the opposite direction, causing hunters to inevitably pursue them in the incorrect path. In 1889, a capture was reported to the Royal Geographical Society. In 1924, Chase Salmon Osborne claimed a glimpse of the Kalanoro, which he believed to be a couple engaged in intimate activities near a campfire. Although possessing human-like characteristics and telepathic capabilities, Kalanoro are classified as animals. Author Basil Kirtley said in a 1964 piece that the Kalanoro were dwarf-like creatures. He drew a parallel between them and the European mythical creatures known as elves and trolls, who were notorious for pilfering food, substituting human children with their own offspring, and generally creating chaos and disorder. The inhabitants of Madagascar vehemently refute that characterization. They were examined by Professor Joe Hobbs of the University of Missouri-Columbia's Department of Geography while he was living with the native tribes in Madagascar's Ankarana Special Reserve. In his report dated May 15, 2000, Hobbs described the village of Ambalakadi's belief that Andabwara Cave is considered sacred. This belief is based on 3 distinct incidents, the most recent of which occurred just 2 years ago. In these incidents, distraught parents whose children had wandered into the forest were able to find them alive in the cave. This was made possible by leaving food out for the Kalanoro, who then returned the children in exchange. In 2006, Lauren Coleman, a researcher of mysterious creatures, reported that a troop of US Navy SEALs had an encounter with a peculiar group of apes in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Lauren stated that the information originated from a dependable source and aligned with the region's historical occurrences of peculiar creatures. Based on information from a reliable source, Lauren stated that a specific division of the US Navy SEAL recently had an extraordinary encounter with unidentified primates in Africa. The former SEAL discloses his participation in clandestine missions in the Democratic Republic of the Congo from 1997 to 2002. Based on his report, his team witnessed a collection of 13 animals that resembled chimpanzees. These creatures were approximately 4 to 5 feet in height and had a consistent grey coloration across their entire bodies. Additionally, they had rows of quills along their backs that resembled those of porcupines. The unnamed primates exhibited bipedal locomotion and were witnessed by the SEAL team engaging in the act of predation on another animal. When the creatures experienced excitement or agitation, their quills or spines would become erect. As to the insider, the US Navy SEAL unit captured a 3-minute video of these monsters, but this recording has reportedly been classified. According to researcher Raymond Dicari's research in the 1950s, all tribes inhabiting the island of Madagascar, situated off the eastern coast of Africa, are aware of the existence of the Kalanoro. Dicari identified common motifs connecting the legends about the Kalanoro. A sighting of a Kalanoro was reported to the Royal Geographical Society in 1889. In 1924, Chase Salmon Osborne documented his observation of 2 Kalanoro engaging in mating behavior. Mysterious encounters with the Namibian Terrasaur. In the arid, remote expanses of Namibia, a series of extraordinary sightings have led to a stunning hypothesis: the survival of a pterosaur, a creature thought to have gone extinct over 66 million years ago. Known to local tribes and occasionally spotted by explorers, the Namibian Terrasaur represents one of the most fascinating mysterious creature sightings. Eyewitness accounts form the backbone of the evidence for the Namibian Terrasaur. Local tribes, such as the Himba and San people, have long spoken of large, winged creatures inhabiting the skies of Namibia. These descriptions are remarkably consistent: a leathery-skinned creature with an elongated beak, a wingspan of up to 7 meters, and a distinctive crest on its head. In more recent times, European explorers and tourists have also reported sightings. One of the most notable accounts comes from 1988, when a British explorer, James McLaughlin, claimed to have seen a large flying creature while trekking in the Kaukaveld region. McLaughlin described the creature in detail, noting its bat-like wings and elongated beak, characteristics that align closely with the known anatomy of pterosaurs. Physical evidence for the Namibian Terrasaur, while more elusive, adds a compelling dimension to the claims. In 1995, a team of paleontologists discovered what appeared to be a pterosaur bone in the Brandberg Mountains. Although the bone was heavily fossilized, its structure closely matched that of known pterosaur species. Additionally, several reports of unusual tracks found in remote areas have been attributed to the creature. These tracks, with their distinctive 3-toed imprints, resemble those left by large pterosaurs in prehistoric times. The Namibian Terrasaur is described as having a wingspan of 6 to 7 meters, with leathery, membranous wings similar to those of a bat. Its body is relatively slender, supported by strong, elongated bones. Witnesses frequently mention a long, pointed beak and a prominent crest atop the head, features that are consistent with certain pterosaur species like Pteranodon. The skin is often described as dark and leathery, devoid of feathers, reinforcing its prehistoric appearance. Based on the sightings and local legends, the Namibian Terrasaur appears to inhabit remote mountainous regions and vast desert areas, where human activity is minimal. It is often sighted near bodies of water, suggesting a possible reliance on aquatic environments for food. The creature is typically seen alone or in pairs, gliding effortlessly through the air or perched on rocky outcrops. Reports also indicate nocturnal activity, with the pterosaur being more active during dusk and night. The discovery of a living pterosaur in Namibia would be one of the most significant scientific breakthroughs of the modern era. It would challenge our understanding of extinction and survival, suggesting that isolated populations of ancient creatures might still exist in unexplored regions of the world. Such a discovery would necessitate a re-evaluation of the evolutionary history of pterosaurs and provide invaluable insights into their biology and ecology. The Namibian Terrasaur would validate the field of research that includes mysterious creatures, demonstrating that the search for hidden or unknown species is not merely a fringe pursuit, but a legitimate scientific endeavor. It would encourage a more open-minded approach to the study of other creatures and unknown creatures, fostering a spirit of exploration and discovery. The potential for similar living fossils in other remote parts of the world would be taken more seriously, prompting renewed interest and funding for expeditions and research. The first reports of pterosaur-like creatures in the Congo come from the indigenous people, who have long spoken of a large winged animal called Kongomato, which translates to breaker of boats. Descriptions of Kongomato match those of a pterosaur, a large creature with bat-like wings, a long beak filled with sharp teeth, and a wingspan of up to 4 meters. According to local lore, Kongomato inhabits the swamps and rivers, emerging primarily at dusk or dawn to hunt. In the early 20th century, Western missionaries and explorers began documenting their encounters with these mysterious creatures. One of the most notable accounts comes from British explorer Frank H. Melland, who, in his book, detailed reports from the Kayonde people of northern Zambia about a fearsome, flying creature that matched the description of Kongomato. Melland collected sketches from eyewitnesses that closely resembled pterosaurs, adding credibility to the indigenous stories. In 1956, a well-documented sighting occurred when J.P.F. Brown, an engineer working in Zambia, claimed to have seen 2 pterosaur-like creatures while driving near the border of the Congo. Brown described the creatures as having leathery wings and a wingspan of about 4 feet, flying overhead in a manner reminiscent of large birds, but distinctly different in form and movement. Eyewitnesses consistently described the Congo pterosaur as a large reptilian creature with bat-like wings and a long beak. The skin is typically described as dark or reddish, devoid of feathers, and often appears leathery. The wingspan is reported to be between 2 and 4 meters, with the wings themselves being membranous, much like those of bats. The creature's body is generally slender, with a long extended tail and a head featuring a prominent crest, akin to known pterosaur species such as Pteranodon. The Congo pterosaur is said to inhabit remote, swampy areas and riverbanks, where it is most often seen fishing or hunting for small animals. Witnesses report that the creature is primarily nocturnal, being most active during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk. The elusive nature of the pterosaur, combined with the dense and inaccessible terrain of the Congo Basin, contributes to the rarity of sightings and the difficulty in obtaining concrete evidence. Numerous expeditions have been launched in search of the Congo pterosaur, driven by the tantalizing accounts of eyewitnesses. In the 1980s, biologist Dr. Roy McCall, known for his work on mysterious creatures, led 2 expeditions to the Congo to investigate reports of Kongomato. Despite encountering several eyewitnesses and gathering compelling anecdotal evidence, McCall was unable to capture or definitively document the creature. More recently, in the early 2000s, a Japanese film crew ventured into the Likuala swamps with the aim of capturing footage of the elusive pterosaur. While they did not succeed in filming the creature, their interviews with locals and observations of the terrain underscored the feasibility of an undiscovered species surviving in such an isolated environment. The existence of a living pterosaur in the Congo would be a groundbreaking discovery with profound implications for science and our understanding of evolutionary history. It would challenge the widely accepted timeline of extinction events and suggest that small, isolated populations of prehistoric creatures might still exist in remote regions. Such a discovery would necessitate a re-evaluation of our knowledge of prehistoric life and the resilience of certain species. The confirmation of living pterosaurs would have a significant cultural and psychological impact. It would validate the experiences and knowledge of indigenous peoples who have long maintained that these creatures exist. Moreover, It would ignite the public's imagination and interest in the natural world, inspiring a renewed sense of wonder and curiosity about the mysteries that our planet still holds. As of right now, the consistent and compelling accounts of pterosaur sightings in the Congo suggest that the existence of these prehistoric creatures is a genuine possibility. While definitive evidence remains elusive, the testimonies of indigenous people, missionaries, and explorers provide a strong foundation for continued investigation. The discovery of a living pterosaur would be a monumental scientific achievement, offering new insights into evolutionary history and the resilience of life on Earth. The dense, vast, and largely uncharted rainforests of the Congo Basin stand as one of the most mysterious regions on Earth. Comparable to a real-life Jurassic Park, the Congo's unexplored territories harbor countless mysteries and potentially undiscovered species. The Congo Basin is one of the most biodiverse regions on the planet, home to an astonishing array of flora and fauna. Covering approximately 1.5 million square miles, it contains a variety of ecosystems, including rainforests, swamps, and savannas. This diverse habitat supports thousands of species, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth. The region is home to iconic species such as gorillas, chimpanzees, forest elephants, and okapis. Its rich biodiversity and the constant discovery of new species underscore the idea that the Congo is akin to a real-life Jurassic Park. The Congo Basin's dense vegetation and challenging terrain have left much of it unexplored, resulting in a high number of endemic species. Scientists believe that numerous plants, insects, amphibians, reptiles, and even larger mammals and birds remain undiscovered. Each year, new species are documented, highlighting the untapped potential of the region. This continual discovery process fuels the notion that there could be creatures reminiscent of prehistoric times lurking within its depths. One of the primary reasons the Congo remains largely unexplored is its challenging terrain. The dense rainforest, coupled with vast swamps and river systems, makes navigation difficult. The lack of infrastructure and the presence of diseases, such as malaria and sleeping sickness, further complicate exploration efforts. These natural barriers have preserved the region's pristine state, but also limited scientific access, leaving many areas virtually untouched. Local legends and mysterious creature reports add to the mystique of the Congo as a real-life Jurassic Park. Occasional discoveries of previously unknown species bolster the credibility of local legends. For example, the discovery of the Lesula monkey in 2007, a new species of primate, demonstrates that significant zoological findings are still possible. Such discoveries provide a glimpse into the hidden biodiversity of the Congo and raise the possibility that more mysterious creatures could be found with continued exploration. Uncovering the mysteries of the Congo has significant implications for science and conservation. Each new discovery adds to our understanding of evolutionary processes, biodiversity, and ecosystem dynamics. Studying the unique species of the Congo can provide insights into adaptation, resilience, and the impacts of climate change on tropical forests. The potential discovery of unknown species, particularly larger vertebrates, would be a groundbreaking achievement, reshaping our understanding of the natural world. The Congo's role as a real-life Jurassic Park highlights the urgent need for conservation efforts. Protecting its biodiversity is crucial for maintaining global ecological balance and ensuring the survival of unique species. Conservation initiatives must address the threats posed by deforestation, illegal wildlife trade, and climate change. Engaging local communities in conservation efforts is essential for sustainable and effective protection of this invaluable region. Integrating scientific research with indigenous knowledge can enhance our understanding of the Congo's biodiversity. Local communities possess valuable knowledge about the region's flora and fauna, which can complement scientific studies. Collaborative efforts between scientists and indigenous people can lead to more comprehensive and culturally sensitive conservation strategies.